Well, hello, and thank you for joining me for another iTWire video. I'm at the Kaspersky Cybersecurity event in Thailand, and with me I have Seongsu Park. He's a senior security researcher with Kaspersky. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Now, can you tell us, I know that we're here for the conference and we'll talk about your presentation, but I've asked each of the people today to tell us a little bit about what it's like being a cybersecurity researcher. Something that never would have happened, 50 years, 100 years ago. Now, it's one of the most important jobs in the world.
Yes, I think so. I'm from the South Korea, and I'm working for our great team in Kaspersky Lab.
Which is the global research and...
Global research and analysis team.
Yeah.
Our team members spread all around the world, and I'm in charge of the South Korea. Usually, I'm tracking some threat actor in APEC region and research about the cyber threat of the APEC region, especially in South Korea.
Yeah.
Especially South Korea.
Well, and I mean, you've got some neighbors in the north who are pretty active in cyber hacking and stuff, or...
Yes, yes, exactly.
Well. So, your speech today was about infrastructure and being hacked, but can you give us the short version? I've got the full speech you gave next to this video, but what's some of the other things that we learnt about from your speech today?
Today I speak about some threat actors' command and control infrastructure, about their infrastructure.
And a lot of this is inside of companies who are not securing their technology properly, or not necessarily?
Not necessary, because the threat actor name is the Lazarus, and they hacked corporate legitimate server and installed their malware on the server and using that server as their command and control infrastructure.
Which actually is infiltrating legitimate servers inside of a company,
Yes.
and hijacking it with their own things, which is what your presentation was about. Company infrastructure
Yes,
being hacked because companies are not taking it seriously enough or not doing the right things security-wise.
Yes, exactly. I investigated some parts of that compromised server, and I found some servers still using the very old web server and the very old operating system, Windows Server 2003. So they did not update and they did not version up their server. So they compromised. Finally, they compromised by the specific threat actor, and their infra using as the command and control infrastructure of the bad guys. That's the problem.
And so I think you were also mentioning that there's some threats you're seeing that are very specific to South Korea only. So what are some of the things? I mean, are they things that we're not seeing in other parts of the world because South Korea is becoming more advanced with its technology, or is it because, like in other parts of the world, these companies are just not updating as quickly as they should be?
Yeah, I think the South Korea is a very interesting country for the security researcher, because we have a geopolitical issue. We divide to the North Korea and South Korea. And so we have many cyber threat and cyber attack from another country, and we also have many emerging technology. For example, the Samsung and Hyundai have an automobile company. So many kind of attack for gathering some intelligence. We suffering from many kind of cyber attacks. So South Korea is very interesting.
And have you? I mean, I'm from Australia. Are you noticing? Are you investigating? I mean, I know you've got a research team in Australia, but are you seeing attacks that are attacking companies across Asia Pacific to try and steal as much information as possible? The intellectual property theft.
From the South Korea?
Yeah, well, from North and South, and from China, from other places that are attacking people in Australia too, for example. Or do you not really research what's...
Just for attacking Australia?
Well, I mean,
Any country.
Any country really, but I mean, have you noticed anything specific about
Yes,
Australia in your travels?
We see the many cases in a day. So, and I also tracking the many attack from the not just for South Korea, another country from Southeast Asia and Australia, New Zealand. Many attack is coming from any countries, because the threat actor, their attack is not coming from their own country. Their attack is coming from any countries. So very many countries attack from this country, from another country. I saw many attack cases in a day.
So, what lessons are companies not heeding? They seem to be repeating some of the mistakes. What's your advice to companies to try and really protect themselves against these sorts of infrastructure attacks?
I think the one of the main important thing is the identify their IT infrastructure. They have to find some vulnerable host or unpatched host, and some host with the old system, old solutions. And the other thing is that they have to adopt many kind of in-depth security solution. Not one solution is not enough. One solution can be detect anything. It's not enough. So they have to configure multi-layered solution to protect their resource.
So how do you think security and security research will evolve over the next decade, if we look in the crystal ball?
I'm over almost 10 years working in this industry. At the first, to compare the first, when I start to work and now, so many things is different because the threat actors attack is expand their targets.
Much more sophisticated.
Yes, and it's not easy to tracking or analyzing. They are keep improving their skill and they keep expanding their targets. And they know how to evade the security solutions. So we have to improve ourselves, our technology, and they also have improved their technology. So it's like a kind of competition.
Arms race.
Yes,
Yeah.
so it's very interesting.
Now, I always like to ask this question as we get towards the end of the interview, and that's simply to ask if you can please share what's been some of the best advice you've received in life to help you get where you are today.
I'm not sure, but I've heard some lesson learned from the book. When I read the book, some people said slow but steady.
Yeah.
That's my motto. And in this field, it's very important. Slow but steady. Keep learning, keep improving my skill to tracking or to defending some kind of evolving cyber threats. So that's my motto and that's my important lesson.
Very good. And so, do you have any final messages for iTWire viewers and readers and for your current and future Kaspersky customers?
Recently, there are many cyber threats, not only the corporation, but also the personal target for personal, for example, the ransomware. So we have to head up our intention for the cyber threat, and we have to update ourselves, our system, and identify our system. And if you have no idea how you respond to this kind of cyber attack, just contact us and we can help you.
Seongsu, thank you very much for your time and best of luck for the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much.